You may think that it's the same as any other wheel, but today we're going to show you guys that when it comes to dark finish wheels, there's different products, techniques, and tools involved, so let's get started. So as you guys can see, we have this beautiful set of glossy black Honda Civic wheels. Now, one thing that we want to mention is we've already cleaned the wheels, but unfortunately the car was involved in an accident on the front end, and there is some overspray sitting on the surface of the wheel. Now I can tell because there is actually a rough layer, which is basically just kind of showing that there's just a layer of overspray on there, as well as the wheel also looks very cloudy and oxidized. Now, if you ever do have like black or dark colored wheels and you see that they've kind of have like an oxidized look, it can mean a number of things. It can mean that there's overspray, or maybe they're just oxidized from the sun from not having any kind of protection on there. So in order to kick off this wheel detail, we're going to start off by clay barring the wheel. So in order to clay bar the wheel, we're going to need two things. We're going to need a clay bar and we're going to need some Clay Luber. So I've got both of them right here. So in order to remove the overspray, we're going to start off by spraying some Clay Luber directly onto the face of the wheel. And then we also have our clay bar right here, which we're also going to spray for added lubrication. And really, when it comes to black or paint or any kind of smooth surface like this that you want to clay bar, you want to make sure that you're using proper lubrication, because if you don't, you could potentially mar the finish, which is basically just kind of like a, I don't know if you guys have ever sanded like something painted and it just kind of has like a uneven shine to it look. That's basically what it's going to look like. So you don't want to have that problem. You want to make sure that you always use proper lubrication, and our Clay Luber is perfect for that because it's just going to make sure that the surface is as slick as possible at all times. That way you can easily glide your clay bar left, right, up, and down. Now, I know you don't really think about swirl marks when it comes to your wheels, but when it comes to these glossy black painted wheels, you know, you see everything. So if you have a black car, this is basically just going to mimic the paint. You know, it's black, it's glossy. If you get scratches on it, you're going to see it. If you get it oxidized, you're going to see it. You know, it's basically a painted finish. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish clay barring the rest of the wheel. That way we remove all that overspray. That way we can move on to the next step, which is applying the glaze. And I'll explain a little bit more about that product once we get there. So let me finish this up and I'll be right back with you guys. So we've just finished removing all the overspray with our OG clay bar and Clay Luber, and one thing that I'm noticing now is that there's actually very fine imperfections like scratches that's really just kind of giving the wheel a not so black look. It's not really giving out that clarity and not that depth. It kind of has like this little oxidized kind of look to it, and just doesn't look good. And we want those black wheels to look black and nice and shiny. So I'm going to show you guys a product that I personally love and I vouch for, and that is our Black Light Hybrid Radiant Finish. Now, Black Light, it's not a sealant, it's not a ceramic coating, it's not a wax, it's none of the above. It's actually a glaze. Now, the reason I like to use this product on black glossy finishes is because this glaze temporarily fills in light imperfections like scratches and swirls, thus giving your paint a better foundation to reflect off of. So really, it's like makeup for dark colored vehicles, and that's what we're going to use today. And it's very easy to use. You actually don't need a machine, you don't need anything, you just need the product and an applicator, and that's about it. So all you want to do is make sure to shake the product, and then you're going to open up the spout, and then you're going to apply a couple drops onto a soft microfiber applicator. Now in this case, I'm going to start off small. I'm going to go with 4 drops just because, you know, this is a wheel. There's really not a whole lot of surface area, so we want to make sure that we don't waste the product. And in order to do so better, I'm actually just going to rub my finger on the product into the fibers of the applicator. That way I don't, like, you know, throw it on there and then a ball of the black light just falls off. So, you know, don't want to waste the product, make the best use out of your product, and just spread it on the microfiber strands, and now you can start applying it to the surface of your wheel. Now, the great thing about Black Light is that this is an optional product. So for those of you guys out there who are asking, you know, like, do I have to use this product? No, you don't have to use it. It's a completely optional product. This is just makeup for your paint. So if you want to make your shine look all that much better, I would strongly recommend doing so, because the shine, it's really just an overall reflection of the foundation of your paintwork. And if you have scratches and swirls in your paint, guess what happens? You apply a wax, you apply a ceramic, you apply a sealant, and it's just gonna magnify your paintwork, and it's also gonna magnify those scratches and swirls with it. So when you have a better foundation for your paint to reflect off of, it's gonna make your shine look better, your clarity look better, and yeah, everything's just better with Black Light. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish applying Black Light to the rest of the wheel. And when it comes to Black Light, one thing is, A glaze is separate, or sorry, it's different from a wax and a sealant and a ceramic coating in the sense that when you apply it to the finish, you want to allow it to sit for some time. And that time can range anywhere from about 5, 10 to 15 minutes. Since we're here in a cool environment in a garage, I'm going to let it sit for the full 15 minutes. If you're doing this outdoors where maybe it's a little bit warmer, don't do it in direct sunlight. If you do have to do it in direct sunlight and it's hot outside, I would say the least amount of time to leave it on there would be like 3 minutes and then wipe it right off. The product flashes pretty quickly. The longer that you allow it to sit on there, the more it'll fill into those imperfections, scratches, and swirls, and giving you a better foundation. So let me go ahead and apply this, and then I'll be right back with you guys after 15 minutes of it being applied. All right, so it's been 15 minutes that we've applied black light. Now it's time to remove it. So we're gonna grab a premium microfiber towel here, and then we're simply just gonna start removing the layer of black light. And if you did it correctly and you waited enough time, this should wipe off very easily. And one way that you can know that the product is fully dried is you get your finger, rub your finger through the surface, and if it wipes off clearly, you're good. If it smears, you're not done yet. Let it sit a little longer. But this product is already basically wiping right off. And you can tell that the wheel actually has a much more glossier look, a much more deeper black. The clarity is there, the foundation is there. It really just kind of brings back that new black finish wheel all over again. So this product, like I mentioned, is designed to hide scratches and swirls and imperfections, thus giving your paint a much better shine. In this case, your wheels, a much better finish. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish wiping off this layer of black light, and then I'm gonna move on to applying a protectant, because remember, black light is a glaze, it's not a protectant. It does have some protective aspects to it. So like, if you rinse this finish with water, it's gonna beat up, but it's not to be confused with a primary level of protection. You still wanna layer this product with a coat of protection to ensure that your coat of black light lasts its longest, because remember, black light is only temporary, and if you apply it as is to a bare surface, and then the next time you wash it, it's most likely gonna wash right off. But if you layer it with a kind of protectant like Jet Seal, in this case that we're gonna be using, it's gonna last you much longer. So let me finish wiping off this layer of black light, and then we'll get into some Jet Seal. So we just finished wiping off the layer of black light. Now it's time to apply our protectant, which in this case is going to be Jet Seal synthetic sealant. Now Jet Seal is a synthetic sealant, so it's a man-made wax. We've actually created it to be a very durable layer of protection. So waxes are great because they offer some protection and a nice high gloss shine. Jet Seal is designed to provide more durable protection than shine. It does have synthetic gloss enhancers, but you can have a killer combo if you use Jet Seal with something like butter wet wax to have that sealant protection and that carnauba shine from butter wet wax. And right now I'm gonna show you guys how to apply this. Fun fact, it's actually the same thing as you apply black light. So all you gotta do is shake up the bottle, and then you're gonna apply a couple drops onto a soft microfiber applicator. So I'm gonna apply 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna work the product into the applicator. That way the fibers, the microfibers, are actually coated with the product, and then we don't have to risk, the blob of product just falling straight to the ground and rendering it useless. This way we actually spread it out nice and evenly, and we get a uniform spread all the way through. So we're just gonna go ahead and apply this to the wheel, and same thing, we're gonna let it sit for 15 minutes, and then we'll be right back. All right, so we just finished wiping off the layer of Jet Seal, and our job here is done. Now, the question you may be asking is, how do I maintain my wheels looking this great? Now, when it came to washing the wheels, there was a special technique and products that we use, as well as tools that we use in order to clean them. Now, the products that I'm referring to is actually one being our Diablo Wheel Cleaner. Now, when it comes to glossy black wheels like this that have a protectant on them, you want to make sure that you're not just using any degreaser that you have laying around at home. You want to make sure that you're using a specialty wheel cleaner that's pH balanced, and that is a gel, because pH balance just means that there's nothing acidic in the wheel cleaner that's going to damage the finish nor the protectant on the wheel. And you also want to make sure that you're using a gel-based wheel cleaner because that's going to add lubricity. That way you don't scratch up your wheels whenever you're scrubbing them with your favorite chemical glaze brushes or wash mitts. Getting into the tools, we use our wheelie flag tip brush, which is an ultra soft flag tip bristle brush to scrub the face of the wheel. And then we also use our all in the details brush, which we use to get into all the tight spaces like the lug nuts, the center logo, the valve stem, the brake caliper, and any other small intricate areas. And we also use the red rocket brush, which is a longer brush, which is designed to get into the barrel. That way you get that deep clean. So not only are you cleaning the face of the wheel, but you're also getting the inside as well. And then for the tires, we ended up using our Big Blue Stiffy paired with our Total Extract tire and rubber cleaner. Now we use that combo to make sure that we remove as much of the dirt, grime, previous dressings, and the tire blooming / browning to restore an original black look to the tires without any kind of dressing. But just because we did the full 9 yards on the wheel, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and top it off with some Shine Logic dressing just to call this video a day. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a huge like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and as always, if you guys wanna pick up any of these products, you can pick them up on chemicalguys.com or at your local detail garage store. As always, my name is Joey, this is Chemical Guys, and we'll see you next time. Woo!